Hi, welcome to the Contractors Profit Guide. This is Michael Rager. Great job in downloading my new Contractors Profit Guide. Please check your inbox in 5 to 10 minutes for your copy. But be sure to watch this video right now so I can help you use this to quickly get more leads, close more deals, stand out from the crowd, and avoid wasting one more dollar on unnecessary marketing. And just so you know you're in the right place, I want to point out that these are the exact strategies that not only we use, our clients use, and also many successful contractors in the world use each and every day. In short, this is the stuff that works right now. Now, as you might be aware, getting a consistent and measurable ROI from your marketing is a major problem for many contractors. And there are three main reasons why. Number one, many business owners who are trying to market their business become paralyzed by the shiny new object syndrome. This is where they get caught up in whatever the current hot marketing tactic is and never figure out something that constantly works and produces a consistent ROI for them. On the other end of the spectrum, I see a lot of business owners using outdated methods and paying thousands of dollars to companies that rhyme with Yelp and Mellow Pages to advertise their business. And when they see no ROI and want to cancel, they can't because of unfair long contracts. And number three, many business owners have hired multiple expensive marketing agencies that also produce no consistent and sustainable results. This is the number one complaint I hear from my clients. This is so frustrating, and I get it. All you want at the end of the day is to have a business that makes money and just do what you love. But that will never happen unless you get clear on your best next step and prioritize your focus. So let's get unstuck. If you're struggling with these issues, the good news is I'm going to show you the exact steps to get more leads, close more deals, and stand out from the crowd so you can finally get a sustainable ROI and grow your business. Well, let me explain why I taught you Teach Your Business to Fish and why I decided to call it this. Two reasons. Number one, I love business, and number two, I love fishing. And what I learned from a young age as a fisherman is there were certain things that you needed to master in order to become successful. And as I started getting into my own business, I noticed the same things. I noticed there were things that we needed to master and certain steps to get successful, and that's what I want to do with you. I want to show you how to take you from struggling and having not enough time to live the life you want to live to having your business run on autopilot. A friend of mine told me the definition of a successful business is a commercial, profitable business that works without you, and I want to get you there. So let's get started. So most coaches, they start with marketing, but I feel you need to understand where the business currently is, where it plans on going, and what has it done so far to get to the point where it is. There's no sense in starting something new like a great marketing campaign if the company could potentially lose money if we start overloading it with clients. So we've got to get to the beginning. We got to know where you are. We got to start with the right thing first. So let's start with the end game. When I ask most small business owners what the end of their business is, they generally give me a blank stare. But if we want to build a house, we need to know what type of house we're building, a ranch, a duplex, a colonial, whatever. The same with the business. Are you looking to sell it? You're going to pass it on to your kids? Whatever. It doesn't matter. This can change through time. But we need to know what it is right now. And as a contractor, you've probably heard of change orders, and that's a good thing in your line of work. But we don't want change orders that are going to put you back. We want to understand where you are to go there. But in order to build the business of your dreams, we need to know how to exactly build what you want to build. The first thing you got to do is understand your numbers. In some of the areas I find the biggest discrepancy is in pricing. People are afraid of pricing. They're afraid of profits, they're afraid of P&L. And I ask them, where do they get these numbers from? And what they generally say is my CPA. And that's one problem. If you're getting these numbers, the P&L, profits, all this stuff from your CPA, you're probably not getting the right information. These guys specialize in tax and tax accounting, and they're wonderful in it. But they're not experts at digging into your business and help you figure out where you need to go. The one number that I want everybody to worry about is gross profit percentage. You need to understand what the gross profit percentage is for your company, and I can help you find that. It's one of those tricks that I have, and I'm not going to share with you right now, but it's something you need to go from being horrified about your numbers to being very, very accepting of what they are. Because once we know what your numbers are, we can make informed decisions to get your business to do exactly what you need it to do. Let's talk about the 5%ers. You may have saw one of my earlier videos that I shot out, and I showed you how you increase your bottom line by 35% by just working on your operations. You can do this all without marketing. And I know that's one of the things I want to do is make sure we don't spend any extra money on marketing, but you can increase your bottom line by doing 3 simple things. Number 1, and this is the most difficult thing for all business owners, is raising your prices. Raising your prices 5%. This is a small amount, but we can do it a lot. I actually did it once with a donut shop, and we raised those prices 6 times before someone even noticed. So a small increase in price is really going to help you. The next thing we have to do is bring down our fixed costs. If we can reduce those 5%, and our fixed costs are those costs that we have to pay month to month no matter what we do. It may be rent, it may be phone bill, it may be insurance. We've got to reduce those things 5%. And you know what? Your vendors want to make sure they keep your business, so they're going to go ahead and they're going to work with you. The next thing we want to do is decrease our variable costs 5%. And our variable costs are those things that go along every time that we have a sale. That may be product. It may be, something with delivering your service. So those are the things that we want to go ahead and we want to go there. And if we do these 3 things, it can make a change of up to 35% in your bottom line. And your bottom line is that money you take home, you put in your pocket, that your family sees, and that you just get to enjoy life and put it away. And that's why we're in business. We want to do that. So let's look at the next area. So we're going to start to chart our company. And this is when we're going to actually start to go put some marketing in. And it's just really funny for me. This is where I really had to learn. And as a kid, we got to figure out, I figured out exactly what I wanted to fish for. And that's what you need to do as a business owner. You've got to figure out which fish do you want to fish for. I talk to a lot of business owners and I say, who's your client? And they say everyone. And I reply, BS. They can't be everyone. You cannot service anyone. You need to pick a niche and go in there and dominate it. I was a kid and I went fishing, and my parents knew absolutely nothing about fishing. And we used to go to this place called Metro Beach outside of Detroit, and they would give me hot dogs for bait. And I would occasionally catch a bass or a bluegill, but mostly I caught carp. And as fun as carp are to fight, they're not very good to eat. And as I became better at the sport, I wanted to catch, what I considered desirable species. And being from Michigan, this meant, walleye and yellow perch and muskie and salmon. And to catch these fish, I could not use hot dogs. I had to get very specific on the techniques in order to catch them. And you in your business, once you figure out who your clients are, you need to get very specific in the techniques that you're going to use. I've got a client here in Houston, Texas, and this client, when we started talking to them, they sold tiles, all right? They sold tiles, and they sold very nice tiles. But what they did is they became very specific, and they started selling these tiles to companies that did backyard barbecues. And there was very specialized contractors, so they were doing, B2B sales. And what they noticed is they could actually increase the price of their sales because this was considered a quote-unquote luxury item, and the end user was willing to pay more for them. And the more they did this, the more money they made. And what happened was they became the number one go-to tile company for contractors, in the area. So they figured out exactly what fish they were fishing for. They weren't fishing for the residential market. They were fishing for other contractors. That's what you need to do. Now, once we figure out what fish we wanted to catch, I learned that they lived in different parts of the lake. So in order for me to catch a salmon, for example, I needed to be in 200 to 300 feet of water offshore in water that was 58 to 62 degrees. I had to be there or I couldn't catch salmon because that's where they lived. And for you to market to your customers, you need to know exactly where they hang out, what they read, where they get their information for, and why they're doing what they're doing. A couple weeks ago, I spoke to a group of interior designers, and as I was out, just combing the room, an hour or two before I went on stage, they had that vendor area, and I was walking around, and I just started talking to everybody, and I started talking to them about where they did their marketing and where they did their advertising. And what I found out was most of these people, they spent money on ads, and the ads were in magazines that marketed to other interior designers. It was great. They got sold to by great advertising people, but the thing is their clients were never seeing it. Their clients were never seeing what they did. I had another client, and she was a cleaning company. She had a commercial cleaning company, and she had to market her, sell her on sending text messages to people who went into dentist office. She wanted to target dentist office, but what this marketer was doing was sending this pay for text advertising that whenever people went into a dentist office, they got this ad. Well, she was marketing to people that were just in there to get their teeth cleaned, and she wasn't marketing to the dentist or the office manager or the people that she needed to. We need to know exactly where the people that are going to be buying are, and we need to market them. We got to give them the right lure or bait. We got to give them the right lure or bait to get their attention and get them ready to buy. Now, once you find the fish, you need to get them to eat. I know it is so frustrating. It's so frustrating that potential clients take forever to make a decision. They take forever. You must realize that 99% of the people who look at your website, that call you, they're just looking for information so they can make a decision. If a person is looking to remodel a kitchen, for example, they've probably never done that in their life. And in the old days, we just asked our friends, or we saw someone else who remodeled their kitchen, and we asked them for referrals. Maybe we went to that Mellow Pages place we mentioned earlier, and we started looking for there. But right now, with the World Wide Web, with the internet, there is so much information at our fingertips that we've got to give them the right information, so when it is time for them to buy, the natural choice is you. Your website just can't say, "Hi, I'm here." You need to be in a position to gather information from your potential clients and then give them. I heard it. I didn't say sell them. I said give them useful information. What if you gave them information like this? The top 10 ways to pick the proper appliances for you in your kitchen. Or better yet, the 15 reasons why homeowners end up in lawsuits with their contractors. This information is gold to your consumer. If you supply this information and more through a drip campaign, when I fish is called chumming, we give them stuff to eat so the fish will come in when they're ready to eat. So if you give them this in a drip campaign, you should be the go-to person when they move from a web browser to a decision maker. That is your job. Let's move them. Now let's set the course to get you to where really where you want to be. As a business owner who doesn't have to work 80 hours per week just to make ends meet. Remember, a commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. There's steps to get there. So once we've got that marketing machine going, let's just keep moving. And keep moving it where it needs to be. It's very important to nurture both your clients and your team. Your team needs to be 100% on board with the vision and mission of the organization. They need to know exactly what you're doing so you can cultivate them. You need to cultivate a culture. You've heard this is a buzzword going around, that culture. You need to have a great culture. You need to cultivate a culture of excellence, of where people think they're being treated fairly. I just saw an ad that came on LinkedIn ads, and one of the things I replied to is, we've got a manufacturing company. We supposedly pay our people well, but we get 50% per month turnover. There's something wrong there. There's definitely something wrong there, and I imagine it's leadership, and it's a leadership problem. It's something that they really need to fix, but their ego's too big to fix it. But then we got to go through and also weed through our clients to ensure that we have the right clients, because I imagine And I've seen this all the time, that we have clients that stay with us for a long time and they're not good clients. I have a client, they do property management. They do property management over in South Carolina. And what we did is we weeded through and got rid of what we called their C and D clients. We tried to teach their C clients how to become B clients, and we just cut our D clients. They were crappy clients. They were slow paying. They always complained. And what we wanted to do is just give them away to our competition. They may be your competition's gold, and that's fine. But to you, they're what we call the PETA. Remember, a pain in the... Yeah, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so we got to get rid of those clients. And so we nurture those clients that we have to refer you. So you are the go-to person. And you're the go-to industry for whatever you sell. When you're in the right... when you got the right fish and you're fishing in the right place and you got the right bait, your clients will go ahead and they're going to send you more clients, and that is so important. The next thing we need to do is look at documenting how we work. Most companies have not taken time to really document what they do, why they do it, and how they do it, and those things that make them successful. This is of utmost importance as your company grows, to ensure that you can cover skills that if somebody you think is important leaves your company, or you start to grow really fast and you've got to start bringing new people on, you have a way to train them and train them properly. What we see I see happen all the time is Bob's worked at a company for 15 to 20 years. And Bob just decides to retire. Well, that sounds great and everybody's happy for Bob, but all of a sudden one day, about 2 months down the road, something comes up and nobody knows how to handle it because that's what Bob did. And what you need to do as the business owner is you need to go back to Bob and hire him and pay him to come back, or you need to figure it out and you struggle. But let's say one of the things you want to do is one day is sell your business. If you've documented how your business works really, really well, it makes your business more valuable. And that's what we want to do, is we want to make our business more valuable. We want to make sure that we can be seamless. So if somebody leaves, somebody comes on board, it's seamless. We're taking people in and we're giving them very good training so they know exactly what to do, when to do it, how to do it, so your company looks like it's the best. Well, let's go on from the last. We want to get this business running on autopilot, and that means going from good to great. And one of the things that I've often heard, I think it was Seth Godin, he said the one thing that keeps companies from being great is being good. So the one thing that keeps companies from being great is being good. And it's so important that you focus on becoming a great company, not a good company. This is when you make sure you really have all the right people with you so you, the business owner, can live the life you want to lead. If you've read the book Good to Great by Jim Collins, he just says you need to get the right people on the bus and get them sitting in the right seat so you can drive down the road and it can do what it needs to be. Now again, remember, it's a commercial profitable enterprise that works without you. This is where we make it happen. We hire the GM. We look at adding multiple locations. We look at franchising. The business is now duplicatable. We can do with it what you need to do. It is running on autopilot. This is where you want to go. This is the last step to business and financial freedom. The last step to business and financial freedom. Now, these are the exact steps in the exact order to get the business you want. We're going to show you how to get more leads, close more deals, stand out from the crowd so you finally get a sustainable ROI and grow your business. For the very first time, there's a clear path from point A to point B, and we want to take you there. Now let me ask you a question. How long have you been trying to solve this problem? What methods have you used and failed at? Right now is your time to decide. Do you want to stay where you are, or are you serious enough to take the right action? So if you're serious about finally getting a constant ROI from your marketing and never worrying about overspending on ads, here's the next step. You need to make a choice. I set aside some time next week to speak to you personally about how you can apply these strategies to your business. This is no cost to you, but my calendar does fill up quickly. You may ask yourself, why am I doing this? Well, on this call, I'm going to help you get crystal clear on what you need to do based on your current situation. At the end, only if you get value from our sessions, I'll let you know a few ways that we can help you and implement these strategies. Maybe we'll work together. And if it's not a good fit, you can still walk away and have a great plan and have some great ideas that you can go out and implement on your own. But this is never, ever going to happen if you don't take action. So again, if you're really serious and ready to get premium clients month after month and finally focus on doing what you love, click the button below this video and book your session now. My name is Michael. I'll talk to you soon. I'll teach your business to fish, and I'll teach you how to be a real success. Go out there and make it a great day.